Well, good morning. It is so good to see you. Hello, hello. Spring break has officially started, and I'm all yours and ready to talk true crime. Hi, everyone. Hey, Sassy. Hope Floats, NJs. Jen in Georgia, of course. Hello, hello, everyone. Viva. All I need is Jesus. I see your daughter had a birthday, did you say? 17. Tell her happy birthday. I'm in the doghouse. Woof, woof. So, hello, hello. Why am I in the doghouse, Jen? All I need is Jesus. So good to see all of you. Holy cow, a lot's been going on. NJs, thank you for being here. Raymond, thank you for being here. Panda Bear's mom, Joanne McNeil, Star, Lambert, and Sunset Gazing. Happy Christy Smith. I'm so happy to see all of you this Saturday, the 29th of March. Hello, Teresa Stott. We have had a lot going on. Teresa's been a member for 4 months. Thank you so much, Teresa, for your support. Hello, Karen B. Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate it. We have a good time. Today there's been a lot going on, and I know I can't go on without addressing to all of you about SF. Come on, y'all. We've been talking about that for a while. In our opinions, how unprofessional it was to see him on X, slamming everyone. I mean, especially the father, calling him an R word and things like that, making fun of several creators, which was just ridiculous. And remember, we had said a couple of weeks ago on our live, I said, fire him. He's not doing you guys any favors. So I'm glad he's gone. I really am. Gone from the case, supposedly. Prayer Warrior, thank you for your 3 months of support. I missed you so much, and I am well. Thank you. You all, I'm an English teacher, so this time of the year, it's all testing, and it's really a lot of pressure and comes down on the math and English teachers a lot. So, wow, it was a big couple of weeks, like third week in April or third and fourth week in April will be the same, but we're going to keep going. So hello, you're a newbie. Well, you're not a newbie to us, my friend. You're not a newbie to us, but welcome. All I need is Jesus. Hope you're doing well and had a great time for the birthday. And hello, Rusty Pipes. Hello. We're going to, so let's keep real quick with SF. We never, oh my goodness, hold on. We knew, when they searched, we saw some of the pictures that came from those searches that had illegal items in them. Banging on neighbors' doors, terrifying the neighbors, allegedly. I've had neighbors tell me that. And just putting out things that may be allegedly altered or we know not accurate, because when we brought up the 3 a.m. car, he had numerous, within like a 24-hour period, just kept putting out different things to see if they'd stick. In my opinion, none of them did. So I think it's going to be very beneficial for the case. I have looked up, tried to look up the case and haven't found it, but I will delve into that a little more with you later. We do know, I thought it was very interesting that we had numbers smudged on it. So we'll address all of that together. Also, and I just wanted to, hi, Gypsy. Hello, Rusty Pipes. Hello, everyone. Nani McPoppins is in the house. Hello. Wishing everyone a blessed weekend, and thank you for your 4 months support. Thank you, everyone. So I received from one of my dear subscribers, viewers, mods, members, a a police report from Sutherland, Oregon. And I did not request it because I can't FOIA to Tennessee, because Tennessee, you have to live in the state. But it was sent to me. And what it is a lady was at Ford's Pond in Sutherland, Oregon in March. She believes the first few weeks. And she had an interaction with, according to her, Chris Proudfoot and Katie Proudfoot. And they were with another couple. And at the time, this person, hi, Raymond. Hi, Show Poodles. It's so good to see you all. At the time, this lady didn't know who they were and was unaware of Sebastian's case. Okay, so as she became aware of it in June, she ran to her police station and filed a police report that she indeed had spotted Sebastian Rogers' parents in Oregon at Ford's Pond. Once I received this request, hi, Charlene. Once I received this request, I reached out, and At Night and Dog's team told me indeed that they were looking into that as well. We're already in Oregon. And so I released it to you all. And we found out a couple of days later that there's a couple of people, I think they said 2 people in Oregon connected to the case. Now, there's no clarification other than that statement that I know of. I don't know if they mean eyewitnesses, to them being at Ford's Pond in the area, or if there's some other connection. But I want to thank all of you for being here. It's been 13 months and 3 days since Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers was reported missing. He was 15 years old when he was reported missing. He is now 16 years old. He had a birthday in December. He is autistic, high functioning, very capable, very verbal, very smart, very likely to be able to maneuver and get himself home, things like that. Okay. He's not incapable. He's not in the beginning, I think many of us wondered what his speech skills were, even his verbal skills. So he's very verbal. He's very capable. He plays chess. He interacts. Though he is, please, if you see him, he's 5'5", was at the time he went missing, could have grown a little bit, could have some facial hair. But we need to, if you see him, please call 911 immediately, and we will go over some of the called 1-800-TBI-FIND. Many numbers I will give you by the end of this. And I just want to make sure that we're all staying vigilant. I know a couple of you in here have been out there searching, and for that, we are truly grateful, truly, truly grateful to you all. So the thing that I find really interesting, y'all, about this is, and I found it interesting back then too, by the way, is that, excuse me, is that it was sent to Hendersonville PD. Okay. Now it was sent to Hendersonville PD. So the person went to Sutherland, Oregon, to their police department. And this person has some health issues. So for her to race there was amazing. She felt very certain of this. And yes, she went in, but guess where it was sent to? Hendersonville PD. Back in June of 24. But we never really heard anything, and not that we need to. Hey, Holly, yes. Not that we have to. Not that they're going to say, well, we've received this. But I find it really interesting that it came to us not through Hendersonville. Hendersonville never mentioned it. Very interesting, because we have Hendersonville PD popping up a lot, don't we? We've got one in the neighborhood, lives directly behind the P-Foots with the fabulous surveillance, audio, night vision, numerous cameras, sophisticated, riding around. He also was in the command center, like I told you all. I'm the one who shared with everyone that he is the one at the vigil who put his head down and was saying it's bad, it's so, so bad, and had tears. And I said to you, if there's a police officer and he's seasoned and he's seen so many things in his world, what would make him cry that he saw or knows? Right? And I know since we've been on, hi Star, since we've been on, we lately, since the 1 year, they've released that At Night has released that they are searching for Sebastian, who they believe is still with us, because there is no proof he is not. However, the investigation is also going to be searching for Sebastian, who may not be with us. So all avenues are covered. And that's really not shocking. That's usually how it goes when there's a missing person after a certain amount of time. I believe it was Nancy Grace explained it. She said, during that time where there's missing people, you have an investigation going on that's going to rescue, and then you have an investigation to recover. So in other words, you're investigating and searching for an alive person, and then there's also a flip side to the investigation where you are searching for someone who may no longer be deceased or who may no longer be with us. And as much as we don't want to discuss that, it is a possibility, and it's a statistic possibility. We know that, but there's always something called faith, and Seth, the father, has that faith that we are going to locate him and have justice for Sebastian. So that's our faith right now. Hey, Alcoholic. Hello, everyone. Hey, Brown-Eyed Girlies. Hello, hello, hello. Hope you're all doing well. Oh, my school year is almost over. Ginger girls, I've missed you too. And so much has been happening, you all. And I want to tell you, our team, hi, Mini Panthers, sent me the new RICO stuff last Friday, not 2 days ago, but last Friday. And I told them I was going to review it and release it. Ease came out immediately with it, which I always appreciate when someone else does that, because I was in such a busy state. So we are going to start going over that this afternoon. There is going to be an emergency hearing. So it is going to be heard. And we're going to go over that this afternoon. After we get off of here, we're going to do that. I can't remember what time I scheduled it for. I'll look. We're going to do that. And then I'm modding for Seth this evening. We're going into Seth. I'm going, and I hope you'll all follow me over. I hope you'll all be with Seth this evening. He's the very reason, the father, he's the leader of Sebastian's army. And he is as much devastated as we all are, times it by a bazillion, and then many more than that. And we can't even imagine how the family members, how people are feeling. Hey, Perfect Pun, aka Jenny Mount. So, I mean, we have to start remembering the things we know in this case. I did not get to hear Miss Jen Coffindaffer yesterday yet. I am going to have plenty of time to read it, listen to it. And her title was, is this like Summer Wells? Is this a cold case? And my goodness, you are going to hear me scream at the top of my lungs if this goes cold. And I'm just going to say that. Because I'm just going to say that. We know things. We've heard things. Things have been leaked. We know things have been known from early on, day one, maybe day two, for, the second 24 hours is how I'll put it, into maybe date. I don't know, but we know they know things. And so I am going to really, really get verbose if this goes cold. So I'm just going to give it the benefit of the doubt They are speaking to Seth right now. I know we fear it's cold, but when I hear that from Jen Coffindaffer, I truly respect her opinion. She's comes from a law enforcement perspective, an FBI perspective, so it does make me a little nervous. I had seen Jen post on X about it the same, her nerves about about if this was going to be solved. So, what I think you all, and I can tell you all this, is what I think at the very least could and may happen is they may bring, you know, hmm, they may bring in, they could, let me theorize with you. They could bring in other charges like they did with so many other cases and that aren't necessarily, proof of death, but everything else may be pointing that way, or kidnapping, and we don't know. But if they have a mountain of evidence, as we're being told, then they have enough circumstantial, possibly physical, I don't know, but we know circumstantial, and we know they have probable cause because they searched a landfill. When you search a landfill, you are swearing to the judge, you are swearing in an affidavit that you have these reasons, and you lay them out specifically to believe a crime has occurred, is occurring, or is going to be occurred, or is occurring or going to occur, and we are going to find evidence to that crime in the landfill, right? And Sonny Weatherford said, rest in peace. That's another odd thing, right? Sonny Weatherford said at the landfill search, we didn't find what we had hoped to, which I thought was an odd statement. So they truly were specifically looking for something. It's not that we were just out there on precaution. You can't do that. You need probable cause and a warrant. And when Sonny Weatherford said, we didn't find what we hoped to, I think that was really important for us, right? So they were searching for something specific, but then you take the flashback of the search and it's confusing because no one's suited up in any of the hazmat stuff. You don't see people down in there digging. I don't know why the U.S. Marshals have been called in, but the FBI has to be asked by Sumner County. That's their jurisdiction. It's their case. They are not going to come in unless Sumner County would specifically ask them to come in. So there's a lot of things that maybe I can help. Hello. Dog did say they would find Sebastian, the U.S. Marshals, and we've seen them go into states and pull out hundreds of kids, right, in these raids. So let me go ahead and share with you. I just do want to share with you. I want to stick with Sutherland real quick. We have a lot that we need to discuss because we're going to go over that RICO. It's going to take several parts because we're going to have to stop, go over and listen to Seth. Bless his heart. Prayers up for him. Hey, Stacy. Aunt Proctor, hello. So we have a lot to do, and we'll keep going with the RICO until we have it read, okay? Like we did when the original one came out. We were on for hours one weekend. So let me go to your statements real quick before I get to this. The U.S. Marshals have not been invited into the case. Oh. I have not seen. I know Dog said that they would like them to come in because they would be able to find Sebastian. Okay. Let me see what else you're saying before. Oh, Ginger Girl says she heard on a news clip that things were found at the landfill and was going to be added to evidence they had already collected. Ginger Girl, do you have, can you let me know where that news clip is from and when so I can get to it? Thank you. That's important. Was it recent? Was it back during the landfill? Thank you, Ginger Girls. Mom. Okay, everyone. We are going to I believe in the U.S. Marshals too. They find our children, don't they? Yes, and Star, I want to say, Star Lambert, I think that's a really good point. The more qualified people searching for answers, the better. And that is true. I wish and I pray and I wish that Sumner County would reach out to the FBI and say, we need everyone. Let's get this. Let's find this child. Let's bring justice. And I wish, and you know, they haven't been asked, okay? FBI has not been asked. And I believe with the U.S. Marshals, it's going to be the same thing. But the FBI has not been invited in. But that's not to say that if Sumner County, I hope that before letting it get cold, they'll ask for that help. Because we're going to scream from the rooftops. We're not going to let this go cold. If we have to say everything we know, hi, Terry. If we have to say everything we know to everyone who will listen, we will, to get justice for this young man and this father and this family, his loved ones, everyone. Okay, let's cover Ford's Pond real quickly. Okay. First thing I'm going to share with you is I just want to share with you. Thank you for your wonderful comment, Ginger Girls. If you could find that for me, it would be a little treasure nugget. I want to share with you this Facebook post from Sutherland Police Department. This is from January 31st of 2024, and it's congratulating Officer Ashley Higgins regarding the Optimist Club 48th Annual Respect for Law Enforcement Banquet honoree and Police Officer of the Year. Okay, so I want to bring that to your attention. This is City of Sutherland. Okay, this is in Oregon. You can see right here. And she received Officer of the Year. The reason that's important is this is the officer who took the police report. She is legitimate. So good to be with all of you. Wow, Holly, yes, yeah, a little bit. We're going to go over that his document too. There are mounds of evidence, Brown Eyed Girls, is what I've heard as well. Brown Eyes, what I believe is they have so much circumstantial, not enough physical, but are willing to go forth, I would think, but they just have to have everything. Remember, we don't want another Casey Anthony walking around, in my opinion. Okay, so I'm going to read this to you. This was given to me. Someone else had requested it. I'm not from Tennessee. This was given to me. I want to make sure before I share that it's pulled up. Okay, there. And I've shared it before months ago, but I want us to remember. Now, one thing I want to tell you all is as you hear little nuggets, I've also heard, but have not been able to verify, that they had been also sighted at not just Ford's Pond, but the RV park, possibly right near there. Okay. Now, we know I reported this to At Night and Dogs team. I didn't need to report it to Sumner County because Hendersonville got it right. They would take it right to the jurisdiction, the police station under jurisdiction, right? And if they haven't, anyway. So we are going to go ahead and look at this and remember now, this is an alleged sighting. Dogs team did say they were there, boots on the ground. Okay. And there are people connected in Oregon to this case. We do not know, because they didn't clarify, nor do they need to, whether that means eyewitnesses seeing family members there, excuse me, or if it means people actually involved, aided, knowledge. I don't know. Jen, I'm sorry. Jen, I know. I know, my friend. Having a rough day. We're praying for you. Hey, Mally Cat. So let's read it. Good afternoon. I'm Officer Ashley Higgins with the Sutherland Police Department, and I had a female come into the office on June 27th, 2024, to report a possible sighting of Katie and Chris Proudfoot at Ford's Pond in our city in March of this year. Now, also, it's been alleged to me by one of my sources, and I have not been able to find a second source to verify this, that allegedly they were in the RV site in Sutherland, or the RV in Sutherland during Nancy Grace. Just what one of my sources told me, but I have not been able to back it up with a second source, but I'm just giving it to you there. So if you have a second source, we can work with that, right? Absolutely. Perfect pun. Um, perfect pun, crimetimebuzz@gmail.com. And you know what? I'm going to do a call in here in a little bit. So also, you can text at that number, okay? Because we're going to, if we have time, do a call in here real quick. Okay. So on Thursday, so in March, this person alleges they saw Chris and Katie Proudfoot at Ford's Pond, which is in Sutherland, Oregon. Okay. So I took a miscellaneous service report regarding her concerns. The following is my report. On Thursday, June 27th, 2024, at approximately 13:44 hours. Now, remember, this is the law enforcement officer of the year. We just looked. So she's good. She's reliable. She knows her stuff. She obviously crosses T's, dots I's. You'll see this in the way she words her report. And I appreciate that. And I think we all do after we've been dealing with some of the, like in the Summers case, where things weren't quite the way they should be, in other cases as well that we have our eyes on, So, oops, sorry, y'all. Let me read it. Okay. On Thursday, June 27th at approximately 13:44 hours, I was on duty at City of Sutherland, Douglas County, Oregon. I was displaying the badge, and that's how they explain their protocol. That's their protocol. I was displaying the badge and uniform of the Sutherland Police Department and operating a marked patrol vehicle. The person, it's redacted, came to the Sutherland Police Department to report she recently learned about Sebastian Rogers, a missing 15-year-old child with autism, in a case out of Hendersonville, Sumner County, Tennessee, and feels with absolute certainty that she had a conversation with Sebastian's biological mother, Katie Proudfoot, and her husband, Chris Proudfoot, at Ford's Pond, located at 382 Church Road. Now, remember the statement: if you want to find Sebastian, go to church. Church Road in Sutherland, sometime in March 2024. This person, they're calling them B. B believes this would have been within the first few weeks of March and would have been on a weekday. Okay. So in that, my friends, the person feels with absolute certainty that they saw Katie and Chris at Ford's Pond, which is located at 382 Church Road. Okay. In church. Now, another interesting thing is that on, I believe it was, I want to say Elevated Truth, but recently CP has stated that they've not gone on any vacations, that's not true. Okay. I think we have a few down, and I think At Night has tracked several vacations allegedly and a large transaction, little things like that. So Okay, let's keep going. But my source, like I said, one of my sources said they were told that Nancy Grace occurred in the RV in Oregon. If you listen to the Nancy Grace, you should hear some coughing in the background, clearing of throats kind of thing. I believe, in my opinion, CP and KP are not the only individuals in that RV. Listen to the interview over and over, you'll hear it. Okay, so she says it must have been the first few weeks of March, and would have been on a weekday. B happened to recently come across some videos about Sebastian's story on YouTube and TikTok and recognized KP and CP from her visit to Ford's Pond in March. B did some further research into Sebastian's case and learned CP, Sebastian's stepfather, did not like Sebastian and was rumored to be threatening to divorce KP because of Sebastian. Sebastian was reported missing on February 25th, 2024 from KP and CP's residence in Hendersonville. And he was reported missing on the 26th, last seen on the 25th. But we understand that those dates have been cleared up recently. So be advised that on this particular day in March at Ford's Pond, she had been fishing, but has trouble casting due to her arthritis, which was apparently evident to some people sitting on a nearby bench, because one of them came over to help her. They began chatting with these people, 4 in total. So I allege the other 2 were or at least one of the other 2, if this story turns out to be true, an actual sighting. I'm alleging one or 2 of those other 4 were in the RV during the interview, and learned the male and female she now thinks to be KP and Chris. Katie and Chris advised they were from Tennessee. And the other 2, also female and male with graying hair, said they were from Seattle, Washington. Now, we can speculate who that male and female are. I know who comes right to my mind. B discovered that Sebastian's grandparents recently flew from Seattle, Washington to Alaska, which she found interesting since the other couple at the pond advised they were from Seattle. B also learned from an unknown source that Katie and Chris have ties to Oregon. B said her interaction with these 4 individuals at the pond was odd, and they seemed to be acting strangely. She is concerned they may have dumped Sebastian's body somewhere in or around Ford's Pond. She has gone back since. Now remember, this is a person with arthritis who needed assistance to cast, I believe she said, right? Okay. And she goes to the police station, but not only that, she believes it so much, she goes back, okay, to Ford's Pond and begins digging around in the brush and shoreline looking for evidence of Sebastian's decomposing body. B showed me a photograph she took with her cell phone of a pile of bones and fur she dug up in some nearby vegetation that she suspected may be body parts. This appeared to me to be a possum or a nutria carcass. As a precaution, this photograph was uploaded to the accident evidence server under. See, now look at how well written, detailed. Imagine. I wonder if this was done with like the glasses that were found. I'm just saying, just so they have them in evidence, just in case, right? Things like that. So she uploaded the evidence and put it into the case file. I checked local files for anyone with the last name of Proudfoot. Now, these are not relatives. This was not relatives, okay? But what she does, so she went through Proudfoot and she has, here's one that she said, Christopher, a review of Oregon arrest shows a male named Christopher Allen Proudfoot, born February 24th, 1983, was arrested, in Clackamas County. Also, Our agency uses Verkada surveillance system with several cameras placed strategically throughout the cities of Sutherland and Oakland. Some of these cameras are placed at Ford's Pond. However, I'm unable to review video from as far back as March. This information was forwarded to our local major crimes team with the Douglas County Sheriff's Office and with the Hendersonville Police Department Investigations Division. Contact information, and they gave the contact information for the reporting party. And as you can see, it is Ashley Higgins, the Officer of the Year last year. Okay, so yes, Whispering Winds at Night Dogs team went into Oregon. They indeed were there. Whether it was drained, I don't know. I don't know the level of what the pond was searched, but I do know that they were out there. Yes, I do. Jen, you're so cute. I do know they were out there. And hi, Nicey Marie, Peter Pan 13, Whispering Winds. Good to see all of you. Okay, thank you, Perfect Pun. Do you want me to look at it now during this? Let me see. Let me look at it now during this and see if it's. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I think, okay. Oh, no, this is from Ginger Girl. Thank you, Ginger Girls. And yes, I most certainly will. Let me go ahead and we're gonna look at that. Well, let's look at it now. Let me go into my email real quick. This is the clip, and it's going to be credit to Granny's Crime Busters. Okay, and she has a clip from the past sheriff, Sonny Weatherford, saying that they found items. So talk amongst yourselves for a second while I set this one up, okay? Thank you so much for sharing this, Ginger Girls. Jenny, I haven't seen your email. Hold on. Oh, yes, I have. Hold on. Oh my, okay. We will, Jenny, thank you. I will respond to this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, let me look at it and then I'll bring it forth. Thank you so much for sharing, everyone. You're awesome. Yes, juicy is the subject, huh? Okay, let's get to it. I want to show you about the landfill search. Talk amongst yourselves for one moment. Okay. Okay, let's see. Do you all have it? Okay, y'all, we're ready. Let me just see what the timestamp's supposed to be. I forgot real quick. Hold on. 650. Okay. 650. So let me share it now. And this is credit to, I want to say the name right, Granny's Crime Busters. Credit to Granny's Crime Busters, and it's at 6. Sorry, guys. 650. Okay, hold on. There. Now, do you see it? Good. I'm just going to put myself on mute, and we're just going to listen to it for a second. See what it says. I know I had never seen that photo either.
Or maybe you did, but it still stands out. Okay, so let's go ahead and listen to it.
News 2 at 5. Thank you, Mark. A backhoe digs through mounds of trash at a Kentucky landfill. It's the latest effort in the search for a missing 15-year-old that is intensifying. Good evening and welcome to News 2 at 5. I'm Bob Mueller.
I'm Haley Wilkes. Sebastian Rogers became the subject of an Amber Alert when he went missing last week. The TBI released new images of Sebastian today. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office traveled to the White Plains landfill in Hopkins County as a precautionary measure. They say the landfill is where trash from Sebastian's neighborhood was taken to. News 2's Adam Minzer is joining us live from that search site with an update. Adam.
Haley, Bob, we actually just heard from the Sumner County Sheriff telling us that they were looking in a very specific location. The location right behind me with that white tarp right there, and a few people moving around. As you can see, there's more activity there now than there was previously in the day. It looks like they've resumed normal operations. Now, what's interesting about what the sheriff just told us is that they were looking this specific area because the trash from Sebastian's neighborhood got dumped here today. They spoke to the driver of the trash truck for that area, and he said that it was put in that space right behind us. I want to show you some drone footage. So guys, that is something that did stand out to me. They went there the day that the trash from Sebastian's area was dumped. I didn't know that before. I don't know if you guys did. But yeah, they went there the day that it was dumped. Okay. This is as close as they've let us get to the search, but we took this a little bit earlier. You can see about 20 people searching this concentrated area using an excavator to move around the trash to get a better idea of what's there. As you said, this is all precautionary. The sheriff's office says that they were doing this to rule out possible questions and options, telling them where Sebastian may be. The search has been ongoing for about 10 days now. They extensively searched the area in Sumner County around Sebastian's home, and before moving here, about an hour and a half away to White Plains, Kentucky. Now, as it's starting to get dark, we're waiting to learn more about what, if anything, they found out. As a reminder, Sebastian is 5'5", with dirty blonde hair, last seen wearing a black shirt and black sweatpants. He had the clothing right, a black shirt and black sweatpants. So he had the clothing right.
It's been a day-long effort. What happens now?
At the last we heard from the sheriff, he says that now they look at what they found, look at what they learned, and then they reassess whether it's worth it to continue searching here or to move on to other. They'll be reviewing what they found and what they learned.
Wow. And that is credit to Granny's Crime Busters. Okay. And so if we think about that, Hold on one second. We think about that. I want to share our little thing again here. I want to take us up to Ford's Pond real quick. There we go. There's a bench right there. That's what I wanted you to see. So this lady, oh, you're not seeing what I'm seeing. Sorry. Sorry, my friends. So this is Ford's Pond in Sutherland. She said that, you know, she mentioned a bench, right? So they were sitting on a bench. That's the area. Now, it's a reminder to remember we have a police report filed of a possible sighting of the parents in Oregon around a pond acting strangely, to the point where a lady with arthritis not only raced to the police station when she saw Sebastian and them on television and realized who she believes she saw, she also went back with her arthritis and began digging. I think it's important we remember that. That is how certain. And the alleged sighting that I only have one source who told me, and I can't find a second to verify it, at the RV park, right? So we need to remember that. And then we have the CP saying on Elevated Truth, I believe it was, that they haven't gone anywhere. Why are people saying that? They haven't been on vacations. Okay. Now, the landfill search. A precautionary landfill search cannot occur. And they kind of contradicted themselves. They said it was precautionary, which we know it can't occur because you need probable cause. And then they contradicted themselves because, like I said, Weatherford said, well, in one article, we are disappointed we didn't find what we were looking for. So they went there to specifically look for something that they thought they were going to find related to the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. Now, I'm so glad she brought this reminder up. Thank you. Credit again to Granny's Crime Busters, because I didn't remember. I didn't remember that they were there the day Sebastian Rogers' trash from his home was dumped in White Plains, Kentucky landfill. Remember, that was 10 days in. So we thought, at least I did, 10 days, right? Later. Well, they were there that day because that's the day it arrived to Kentucky, to the landfill search. And if you recall, I called that landfill and they told me it goes directly into a cell. And as soon as it's dumped into the cell, it starts getting moved and crushed and moved and crushed and moved and crushed. Okay. But it's in a cell. So that's how they knew the specific location of Sebastian's trash is from the neighborhood where that cell is located that they dump for that neighborhood, just so you know. Okay. And we need to remember those things, right? Oh, that's a good point, Ginger Girls. They tracked the trash truck. They did. Great point. They tracked the trash truck. Ginger Girl, I bet they didn't track it to behind the houses, though. So let's remember, 10 days in, they found something. He says, now we have to go back and assess what we found and what we have learned and determine if it's will take us back there to continue or to go in another direction. So now we have to reassess based on what we've found and what we've learned. So something was found at the landfill search. and things were learned. Okay, now that they searched where Sebastian's home's trash went. So what do you think they were looking at that point? Right? We're 10 days in and they're tracking the trash from the parents' home. I think that is very telling. Okay, that is so telling. They found something. We missed it. It's so important to go back. I started going back over another interview the other night. So it's so important to go back because they found something. When was the flashlight video released? Oh, goodness, that's in my notes. Nicey Marie, that's in my notes it would take me a while to go through. What I'm doing is I'm working on putting things, going back through things and putting them in a database is what I'm working on. Hi, Ginger Farab, how are you? Hello, everyone. So a police report. We have a lady who goes, files a police report, swears she saw these people. They were acting strange. They helped her out because of her arthritis. She sees them in June, learns CP didn't care much for his stepson, knows she saw them, races to Sutherland Police Department, gives the report to the Officer of the Year. So it is you saw the detail provided. She even took the photo that the lady had taken because the lady went back. She felt it was so important. She truly believes that this was them. And with her arthritis was digging around, searching for clues. And took a picture of some things she had found and thought were bones. Now, the officer, of course, thought it was an animal, but still, to be certain, put it in the case file. That's the kind of detail that we all pray to God happened with things like the glasses, pants found, skulls, or bones found, things like that, cell phones found, just so they have it, right? The bedding, the mattress. And this officer said, we have footage, we have cameras all around the pond and Sutherland, but it was too late to go back over that footage. Now, rumor has it that's what's happened at Worsham's, right? By the time law enforcement got over there, it had been covered, recorded over. Miriam M. But I just wanted to remind you, there was a police report filed. The lady truly believes this is whom she saw. Dogs in at night said there are people connected to the case in Oregon. They did follow this lead. They had it before I released it to you. So, yes, I think I would really, actually, you know what? That's a great question, and I will ask it. I'm going to ask if Ford's if they've had anyone dive that pond. I will actually send that question. You all don't have to. Let me go ahead and send it, and I'll let you know what we find out, okay? Because, yes, that's important to get a diver out there. I think so, too. So, and Sandy, March 14th was when the flashlight video was. Thank you, Sassy, excuse me. March 14th was when the video was released by Barris. Okay. So, who's that? Oh, wait. Whispering Winds. Who is that person you're saying? I'm so sorry, Sassy. I know, and that's why I'm sorry I did that. Right, Holly, yes, it never hurts to do it twice, right? Or again. Oh, the diver. Okay. Okay. So really we have to remember things. Okay. He was reported missing February 26th. By February 27th, it became an Amber Alert, which means an abduction, which means a crime. We've talked about the command post chatter. I did a live with all of you. What I heard about the command post chatter. Okay, thank you, Holly. You're so sweet. The command post chattered. They knew early on that he had been removed, not by a stranger, that he didn't walk out, that there was a sedan that pulled up in the night. People got out with flashlights before it arrived at the corner. Lots of information that we know. We know that Hendersonville police person was driving around the first morning. He was off duty, but he was driving around with Sumner County. We know he has a very, very sophisticated system. We know allegedly he is friends with KP, allegedly. We know that he was at the command post and he left the visual in tears saying it's bad, it's so, so bad. Okay, so that stuff, and then this police report was filed in Sutherland and sent to Hendersonville PD. I would love to know if that was circulated. Oh, thank you so much, Holly, for the super sticker. Appreciate you. All I need is Jesus and true crime. Thank you so much. So glad you're back. Love you, Jay. Love you back. Love you back. Love you back. Yeah, a lot to cover. I got a lot to catch up on and cover with you. I want to go over that one document that SF put out. We're going to go over the RICO this afternoon here in a little bit. And I just wanted to say I've missed you all so much. So today, what we remember, police report filed in Oregon. Okay, landfill search where they found something, learned something. They went where Sebastian's family's trash was. Also, what was the other one that we were going to say? They found something, they learned something. Then there's a sighting in Oregon that a police report was made. Okay. Yeah, the other one that started on fire is interestingly close to a family business, allegedly, from what I'm hearing. So I missed you too, you all. So very interesting things to remember. Probable cause to get to a landfill search. The landfill search was 10 days after March 7th. Thank you, Sassy. And March 14th, we had the flashlight video. February 27th, we had an Amber Alert. They scaled back at March 4th after the first interview was released locally by the parents. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but it was quite a coincidence, right? Thank you all. You're so sweet. Thank you so much, NJs, for your super sticker doll. And Ginger, I appreciate you. Thank you for all you do for Sebastian's Army. You are so welcome. And thank you all for what you do. And we're going to be in there. I'll be modding for Seth tonight. We're going to go in tonight, support Seth. He'll be on in a few hours. But before that, we're going to start going over the RICO. And that, like I said, the team sent that to me last Friday, 8 days ago. And I was grateful the E's got it right out because I was unable to, but we're going to certainly go over it like we did that one weekend. We were on for hours and hours going over them. We're going to do that this weekend. We're going to have to start it in our live here that starts in a little bit. And then what we'll do is after Seth, tomorrow we'll pick it back up, okay? So I will see you all in a little bit. Thank you for all your sweet super stickers, messages, kind memberships, for supporting me. I appreciate it. The channel, we are Sebastian's Army. We're not going to give up. We stand beside Seth and anyone who is willing to look for him, not spread misinformation. We will stand behind everyone. Love you back, Whispering Winds. Yes, I'll be in there modding, Joanne. So I will see you all at our live beforehand. Hi, Star Lambert, Panda Bears, all of you, so much appreciate you. Thank you for hanging in there. Thank you, Ginger. We're not going anywhere. We're going to bring justice and locate Sebastian. Hi, Justice for Kylo. You know, Sassy, I have heard different reports on that, which is why I haven't reported it back to you all. I have heard it was owned by someone in the family, and it was next door to second generation. So I think that might be some good digging to do, right? Find out who owned that landfill that burned. That might, for my researchers, that might be a good thing to try and uncover, right? Jen, I'm answering Jen's question, and then we're going to get off of here. I'm going to eat some breakfast and come right back to you. So I so want to know that too. Reportedly by a lady who lives in Gallatin. Wait, what are we talking about? Oh. Okay. Well, let's dig for that, right? Let's find that out. Hold on. Yes, I heard that as well, Charlene. I heard that was addressed too and won't be happening again. I did. Okay. So where is Jen and Georgia's question? Jen's raising her hand. Jen, I'm calling on you. Yes, Danny. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Well, Jen, we do have to use, in my opinion, and allegedly in our members only, because sometimes I release them to the public. So for instance, this one I am going to release to the public because it has good information that I think everyone has to remember. And we haven't like shared specific things, you know, some of our members' lives, we talk about things, remember, that we're just throwing things around, right? I won't post those. The one we did with neighbor Bobby a couple weeks ago, like I won't post that. That was just for us. So you heard it was in the office, not the pit. Well, we need to find out about that. Let's get on that. Okay. We'll get on that landfill burning. So police report alleged sighting in Oregon at night, and dogs team saying there are people connected in Oregon. This lady believed it so much she went back with her arthritis and was digging for clues. We now find out that thanks to Granny's Crime Busters, she reminded us that Weatherford had said they had found things and learned things at the site, at the landfill, which was where Sebastian's parents' trash went. And it was dumped that very day on March the 7th. Very interesting. So lots to remember, right? Put that stuff in our timelines. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you all so much. And I will, yes. Where is he from? Are we talking about, I know who you mean, I believe. Yes. I know who you mean. I will look. Hold on. There's X just came out with something. We might as well. Okay. There's been a security incident. Hold on, my friend. I am aware of the Michael Miller case. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Okay, hold on one second. There is an update. We'll look at it real quick. I need to see what time our other live is scheduled for. Hold on one second. 1 second to see if we have time or have to do this after. Oops, sorry guys. I just want to see what time I have this scheduled. 12:50. Okay, I got some time. We're going to look at this X update from at night. That's why we're here. One moment, let me pull it up. It's hard to believe we're in the final days of March, isn't it? Here we go. Okay, let me share this with you. Okay, let's go ahead and pull it up. Make sure you all can see it, because I know you like to screenshot it for those of you who don't have X. Okay. Make sure you see it. Awesome. Let's read it together. This is from today, March 29th, 2025, One World Statement on January Data Security Incident. At night, private intelligence. The data security incident first identified in January 2025 remains under active federal review. One World and its division at night are fully cooperating with federal authorities, including the FBI and the Federal Trade Commission. In addition, we are consulting with the United States Secret Service and preparing to coordinate with various state attorneys generals in jurisdictions where potentially impacted individuals reside. This breach involved an unauthorized attempt to access limited internal materials, including personal or organizational identifiers related to staff, contributors, and investigative affiliates. Thanks to preemptive safeguards and swift contaminant protocols. So I believe this is the one where they tried to break in pretending to be possibly the one where they pretended to be employees. The attempted breach was isolated and our systems remained operational throughout. In the interest of transparency and best practices, One World is providing all relevant documentation and technical artifacts to appropriate federal authorities for continued review. If you believe your information may have been affected or if you wish to confirm your status, please contact January Breach at atnight.agency. We remain committed to protecting our people, our data, and our mission, and to cooperating with all relevant agencies for as long as necessary. At Night has remained vigilant, implementing strict protocols to detect and neutralize such attempts while continuing its mission undeterred. At Night urges anyone encountering stolen, shared, or distributed materials related to this breach to report them immediately by emailing tips@manhunts.one or by calling 844-922-3236. So they are still the breaches. So just because they don't bring something up immediately does not mean that it is not still being worked on. Another reminder, someone broke into At Night One World system, pretending to be employees, trying to infiltrate information, and that is a crime. That is a crime occurring allegedly in the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. We do know, we were told, one of these people who has tried to infiltrate is related to Sebastian by marriage. Another is an alleged child trafficker. Hi, YouTuber. So good to see you. Okay, my friends, we're going to get off of here. We're going to be back on in 40 minutes for our everyone's live, and we're going to start going over the RICO and discussing it. Okay, thank you so much for being here, my family members, my friends, my mods, my all of you, Sebastian's Army. Thank you for everything. Wait, I want to make sure, see what's going on here. Is everyone okay? Oh, Panda Bear's mom, you want to skip March 31st? Friends, okay, I'm praying for all of you with what's going on. Yeah, so it's deep. You're right, Nicey Marie. There's a lot of stuff. Sightings, police reports in Oregon, breaches in a security system, landfills where they found something and learned something, which means they had probable cause. We have a crime as of the next day when the Amber Alert was sounded. Thank you all, my friends. I appreciate Sassy, what's that a link to? What's that link to? I saw it too. Oh, I want that link too. Okay. Thank you so much, all of you. And I will see you in a little bit. Appreciate each and every one of you. About the fire. Oh, will you email that link to me too, please? crimetimebuzz@gmail.com. See you soon, my friends. Bye, Brown Eyed Girlies. Bye, everyone. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in a bit.